So, hello guys, this is the longer version of our episode 8 serving series. We are looking at the kick serve. So, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on these progressions that we spoke about, and then we will go into a little bit of practice on how you can improve that kick serve. So, progression 1 we spoke about in this video, all it was is brushing up that ball. Now, the ball placement is interesting here. So we don't want it as far in the court as for your first serve. So first serve, we were speaking about having your racket down, throwing the ball and trying to get it onto that racket. My ball toss has not been great recently, so we'll figure that out another time. So that's step 1, getting the ball toss a little bit further back as opposed to in front. You're still looking to brush up. So if you can get that arm right up, that's the sort of contact you're after when you do hit that ball. Progression 1 is pretty simple. Progression 2, exactly the same thing as we did on Instagram. You're just looking to push off the hand, out of the hand, getting some spin. Now, to get the most amount of spin from a kick serve, you do want to drop that racket head with the wrist a little bit. So if I want to go down and then up, I get a little bit more spin. The same applies if I'm then going to hit a serve. If I was to then hit a serve, I'm dropping and then I'm hitting that ball. So it's a little bit more wrist involved with the kick serve as opposed to the other 2 serves. So that's progression 2. On to progression 3. From behind your head, starting to throw the ball up. Now the throw is really, really important here. If I'm reaching up there with this ball toss, I cannot brush up the ball. It's not possible. So I'm looking to get the ball to land. If I was to let it go, I'm looking for it to land kind of in that same area and a little bit higher so I can brush up that ball. But again, not too high so I can't brush up. So starting the racket behind the head, getting that up so I can get a little bit of brush up that ball. So see how it's behind me. I'm still able to go up and down with that shot. So that is progression 3. Progression 4, you're just going on to full swing, and now the ball toss is even more important because you've got a little bit more movement. Now you're looking to get as much margin as possible on a kick serve. If the ball was just going straight down, the spin won't be as high. If you can get a nice little arc with that kick serve, you'll get a little bit more spin. As it is quite cold out here tonight, can't see that much kick. I get myself some good margin. There's a little bit more kick on it. If I don't have any margin, 1, I could get it into the net, and 2, you'll see less topspin. So depending on the court you're playing on, depends on whether the kick serve is as effective. On grass and Astro, it is the least effective. On clay and concrete like this, it is the most effective. Again, heat has an effect on that as well. So on to the final and 5th and final progression, about your legs. Most people who hit a kick serve will use their legs. It's about pushing up so you can get a little bit more snap on the ball. So if I was going down, I can drop my racket and then get a bit of extra kick on the ball. Nice. See how I can get down and that racket came down as well. I'm pushing up and through that ball. Oh, get the ball toss right. So a nice bit of margin, a little bit of kick, especially because these balls aren't bouncing very high. So let's get a couple more. Let's see if we can get a better kick serve. That last we're going to use this ball to begin with. So ball toss just behind us. Not too bad. See how I got loads of margin. And finally, ball's not in the right place. Remember, same as every serve, you don't have to hit it. Finally, we cannot finish on that. Sometimes that will happen when you're working on it, just because the movement of the racket is a lot more than it would be on the flat serve, because you are using a little bit more of wrist. Let's try again for the final one. A little bit short, but not too bad. So that is the kick serve. So first progression, just going up and down with the hand, just making sure your hand is in line where the racket should be. Progression 2, same hand position, just brushing up, trying to get used to that spin. Progression 3, we are looking at getting the start of the swing behind your head, dropping the racket and getting some topspin. Progression 4, we're looking at a full swing without the legs. And finally, progression 5 is that full serve. Now, I hope that was helpful. We are going to move on to something slightly different on episode 9, but I shall catch you in the next one.